Good morning. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word. I'm Barry Bryson, and we're continuing our study of the book of Lamentations. One thing that I have failed to mention is that Lamentations is one of the megalot, one of the 5 books of the Old Testament, which are read by the Jews on certain holidays and read annually. And so the book of Lamentations would have been read every year at the celebration, or the observation, I should say, of the holiday Tish B'Av, which was celebrated, or observed is a better word. I'm sorry, observed on the annual anniversary of the destruction of Jerusalem. And so, to this day, this event is being memorialized by the reading of this book. The other 5 of the megalot would be Song of Solomon, which was read at Passover, curiously, and of course Ruth, which was read at Pentecost, quite appropriately, and Esther, which is read at Purim, and which of course it explains Purim. Ecclesiastes was read at the feast of booths, and so those are the other ones. So anyway, we are in the text of Lamentations. We finished chapter 1. We are in chapter 2, starting a second cycle of 22 verses in this series of acrostics. And we're going to read verses 1 through 13 today. This really is a theodicy section, a section in which the Lord's actions are completely and utterly defended as right and proper. And of course they were. And the Lord explained through the prophet Jeremiah that once they got there, they would prosper and he would bring them back home. But this was necessary, not just as a consequence of their actions, but as a curative measure to rid them of their idolatry, which they had dabbled in almost since the death of Moses, at least since the death of Joshua, and pursued with passion during many of the years of their existence. But that would end with Babylonian captivity. Let's read chapter 2, verses 1 through 13, and let's pay attention to who the speaker is. Let's pay attention to the personal pronouns, okay? How the Lord has covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger. He has cast from heaven to earth the glory of Israel, and has not remembered his footstool in the day of his anger. The Lord has swallowed up, he has not spared, all the habitations of Jacob. In his wrath he has thrown down the strongholds of the daughter of Judah. He has brought them down to the ground. He has profaned the kingdom and its princes. In fierce anger he has cut off all the strength of Israel. He has drawn back his right hand before the enemy. He has burned in Jacob like a flaming fire, consuming round about. He has bent his bow like an enemy. He has set his right hand like an adversary, and slain all that were pleasant to the eye. In the tent of the daughter of Zion he has poured out his wrath like fire. The Lord has become like an enemy. He has swallowed up Israel. He has swallowed up all its palaces. He has destroyed its strongholds and multiplied in the daughter of Judah mourning and groaning. He has violently treated his tabernacle like a garden booth. He has destroyed his appointed meeting place. The Lord has caused to be forgotten the appointed feast and Sabbath in Zion. He has despised king and priest. In the indignation of his anger, the Lord has rejected his altar. He has abandoned his sanctuary. He has delivered into the hand of the enemy the walls of her palaces. They have made a noise in the house of the Lord, as in the day of an appointed feast. The Lord determined to destroy the wall of the daughter of Zion. He has stretched out a line. He has not restrained his hand from destroying. He has caused rampart and wall to lament. They have languished together, have sunk, the gates have sunk into the ground. He has destroyed and broken her bars. Her king and her princes are among the nations. The law is no more. Her prophets find no vision. in the Lord. The elders of the daughter of Zion sit on the ground. They are silent. They have thrown dust on their heads. They have girded themselves with sackcloth. The virgins of Jerusalem have bowed their heads to the ground. My eyes fail because of tears. My spirit is greatly troubled. My heart is poured out on the earth because of the destruction of the daughter of my people. When little ones and infants faint in the city streets, they say to their mothers, "Where is grain and wine?" And they faint like a wounded man in the streets of the city, as their life is poured out on their mother's bosom. How shall I admonish you? To what shall I compare you, O daughter of Jerusalem? To what shall I liken you as I comfort you, O virgin daughter of Zion? For your ruin is as vast as the sea. Who can heal you? Um, it's just a description of God's righteous judgment and the extent of it, um, but also the purpose of it. They weren't just punished, but the things that were important have been taken away from them. The house of God has been taken away. The altar has been taken away. Their ability to keep the law has been taken away. And now they don't have it. Now they will treasure it. And we see this already in Psalm 137, the Song of the Exiles, how they're longing for the things they've lost, things that they did not value the day before they were taken into captivity. But now they've lost them. Now they know how valuable they are. Um, I also want us to see, and I should have mentioned this yesterday, that although Israel is primarily presented as as an unfaithful wife who has then been betrayed and ravaged by her lovers, um, the people of Judah are also referred to as Jacob, as the son, and so um, although the female image is the primary image, there's also embedded in that the male image as well, so that we don't get on our um, a high horse about one gender versus another gender. Um, um, these are images that are being used to describe a people, and of course, if you want to talk about infidelity, and you also want to talk about someone who is vulnerable, the female image would be the one to use, since God is the male image, and a man would not be as vulnerable as a woman. So if you want to emphasize vulnerability and sorrow, um, the female figure is a much better image to use. Okay, I wanted us to talk about who is I, who is me and my. My spirit is greatly troubled, and to whom shall I compare you? What shall I liken you as I comfort you? Who's speaking here? Well, something perhaps God is speaking, and of course, ultimately, God is speaking because this is the prophetic word, and God is the source. But I think this is the prophet as an intermediary between the people and God. And so the prophet joins with the people in calling out to Yahweh, look at her, look at how bad she is. Yes, she's done all these things, but and yes, she deserved the consequences for her action. And yes, this will ultimately lead to her restoration and her glory. But look at her now and her desolation now, and have mercy on her now. And the people are asking this. The woman's voice keeps saying, "Look at me," and the prophet is also saying it. And I think this is the prophet speaking directly to the woman, saying, "I see you. I see that your desolation is incomparable." Um, and I've run out of metaphors. I don't know what to compare you to as I try to comfort you. And then he asks the question, "Who can heal you?" And of course, that question is going to be answered. Okay, we'll pick up with verse 14 next time. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word.